Today we're going to be making gluten-free bread, so let's get started. So we're going to start with 420 grams, that's 420, of plain white flour. Now you can get a gluten-free bread flour, and basically what they've done is they've added in some extra xanthum gum. I've run out of it, so I'm just using ordinary plain flour, and what I'm going to do is the recipe calls for 2 teaspoons of xanthum gum. I'm going to add 3. That's how I'm going to get round it. So what I've got here, as you can see, these are my 3 teaspoons of xanthum gum. This is my 2 teaspoons of salt, and this is 4 teaspoons of baking powder, and make sure that's baking powder and not bicarb. So I'm just going to pour this in like so, mix it together, and then the one other ingredient I need to put in is some sugar. Now the recipe I originally used called for granulated sugar, but I prefer to use caster sugar. It's just finer and blends in better. So this is 2 tablespoons of caster sugar. So I'm going to set that aside for a moment. And what I've got here is 355 mils of milk, to which I have already added 2 tablespoons of the caster sugar. And I've warmed it in the microwave so that it is just warm to the touch, no more. And I'm now going to add some yeast. This is 1 tablespoon. Due to an oversight when I was shopping, I actually bought a finer yeast. I don't know what difference it's going to make, but we're just going to have to find out. So I'm going to give this a stir, and as soon as this starts to become active, I'm going to mix it in with the flour. And you'll know when it becomes active because it goes all bubbly. So I'm going to set it aside for a moment or two. Just going to put it over here. And the third batch of ingredients that we need is 2 eggs. We also need 2 teaspoons of vinegar. I also need 60 mils of oil. Now the reason I put it in my baking tin is because I'm lazy. I knew I was going to spill the oil because it usually overflows. This is my 60 ml of oil, and it goes. But I don't mind it overflowing because I can use it to grease the baking tin. Now see that this has become bubbly and frothy. You can see it's got quite a layer on it, so I'm just going to give it a little. You can see now that it's gone quite a bit. So in it goes with the eggs, the vinegar, and the oil. This does not require kneading like ordinary bread, so don't knead it. Flatten it down as much as you can, sprinkle it with flour, particularly around the edges. I'm shaping it as it will more or less go in the bread tin. And then just drop it straight in. So I'm just patting it down, patting it into the corners. Sprinkle a bit more flour on top because I don't want it sticking to anything, and particularly along the sides. I'd rather have a bit too much flour because it's easy to get rid of later when you bring it out. It's not really a problem. Whereas if you don't have enough flour, you'll never get it out of the bread tin, and it will be a problem. So I'm going to put it in an oven which I've preheated to around about blood temperature, about 30 Celsius. I had it on 50, which is the lowest setting, for about 10 or 15 minutes, and I've just let it cool while I've been doing this video. So I'm going to put it in there for about 40 minutes. And this is what it looks like. You can see it's quite soft, wobbles a bit. Give the idea. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on top of the cooker hob, turn the oven on, get the oven up to about 175 to 200. I'll probably put it to 200 initially and turn it down to 175 after this has been in it for a few minutes, just so that it skins and sets and we get a nice thick crust on it, because I happen to like mine crusty. So let's get the oven on up to 200, and I'm just going to put this over here where it will stay warm. And basically I've now taken it out of the oven and it now looks like that. So what I'm going to do now is just turn it out, and hopefully it'll just fall out of the bread tin. And you can see all that extra flour that I put in has helped it come unstuck very easily. I'm just going to knock some of it off. Just going to move it to about there. And I should probably let this sit a bit longer before I do this, but I'm keen to see what's come out of it. So oh, it's very hot. Don't know if you can see steam rising from that or not, but that is my gluten-free bread.